Hello, Bernhardt's family. I finally finished getting what I call beta version of the speech board out. I think Michael should be quite happy with it. I weighed it with the motorcycle battery. It weighs 25 pounds, so that should be fairly easy. It's a little bit big, but at least it's not as ugly as I thought it was going to be. I've got 137 digitized words, which may sound a little bit scratchy, and if that's a problem, let me know. I can redigitize them in such a way that it won't. It's one of those things where you go more words, less definition. So, let's go right on to how Michael will use this board. Okay, this is the board. Here's our big power switch. Easy to knock around with your elbow, I've been trying. 8 big buttons, also easy to knock around with your button. Also things I've been trying. Got a fairly large display here, angled so that you can see it from about straight up and down, all the way down to the bottom. It consists, currently it's in the main menu mode, and it's got, the screen is broken down into 8 little places which correspond to the different buttons, and then over here on the very far right corner tells you which menu you're on. So I don't know if this is coming through the VCR or not, but the top left one says family, so you push the button that corresponds to, and we get to the next menu, which has mom right there. Takes a few seconds every time. You can hear it's not as good as I'd like. I didn't find a good enough amplifier circuit, which I'll probably send you a different one later when I find something affordable that works better. But we want to get something for Michael to use, so we've got mom. Then over here is Janetta. You'll notice that there's a little beep whenever a button's pushed. That can be turned on or off through what I call the parental interface, which will show after we've shown how Michael operates it. So basically what I've done is I tried to set up these 8 buttons to work like you showed me his touch talker was working. I couldn't understand a lot of the stuff on the touch talker, so a lot of stuff is blank. I've got a couple of lists of the words I digitized. These are them. They'll be along so you can tell what's digitized and what isn't. Currently everything I have is using digitized words, but there is a synthesized voice which is very easily understood and very easily used. And in fact, it's even a little bit faster in response time. So, okay. We've got, from the main menu, the one thing I did change from the touch talker is if you push what the touch talker used as the clear button and corresponds to infinite on the LCD, you get into what I call my infinite mode. This is a mode where you select items from lists to determine what you're going to do. The first list is letters, numbers, then words, phrases, Michael's words, Michael's phrases. The clear button gets you back to the main menu, and then there's an expand, which is going to be reserved so that in the future Michael will be able to make all of the modifications he wants without any assistance. The biggest in terms of use, I think, is the word menu for me, and possibly the letter menu for Michael. So we'll start off with letter. Letter allows Michael to take letters and put them together to make words, and if he comes up with words he likes, he can push a button and that will save that onto the Michael's words list. just to start off with, I'm going to put in Fred because I know Fred isn't one of the words. Just to cover it, this button is up one letter, this button is down one letter, corresponding up here. This button is what's called up one column of letters. If you imagine the alphabet as being in a square box, it'll go up one row, or what ends up being 5 letters at a time. This one is down one row. This one is select the current and add it to what you're building. Right there is our current. This one is say what you've built. Right there is the list of what we've built. We haven't built anything yet. This one takes us back to the main menu, and this one saves what we've built onto the Michael's words list. So now let's go for Fred. I'm currently on M. I want to go up a line of letters. Now G is closer to F than C, so I'll go G, F. Then I now have F. I want to add F. I now need to go to R, so I'm going to go down a line, which gets me to K. Down a line again, which gets me to P. Q is closer to R than U is, so I'll go Q. There's R, which is down a letter. And I select current.